Neymar Santos is currently in the relegation zone of the Brazilian league after 5 matches. Now, a lot of people did not expect this, especially Neymar, because right before the season started, he came out and said that he believed there was only 3 teams in the Brazilian league above Santos: Botafogo, Palmeiras, and Flamengo. Clearly, Neymar misunderstood the situation, the current situation at his boyhood club Santos, because there's another 14 teams currently on top of Santos. You're probably wondering, how is this possible? Isn't Santos a giant respected team from Brazil? Neymar's team, Pelé's team. How can they be in this current situation? Well, here's the thing. For the past 10, 15 years at least, Santos has struggled financially. So much that last season, they were actually in the second division of Brazil. They just came back to the first division of Brazil. Now, a lot of other big clubs in Brazil have struggled financially in the past 20, 25 years. But in the past 5 years, a lot of these clubs have been getting their financial situation sorted out, and some of them are even getting bought out by billionaires. Santos has not yet done that. And also, what doesn't help Santos is that out of the big 4 teams in their state, the state of São Paulo, they have by far the smallest fan base. Their local state rivals such as Corinthians, Palmeiras, São Paulo have way bigger fan bases, and they've been getting their financial situation sorted, and Santos has been left behind. And it's not just their local rivals, it's teams all around Brazil. And to make the whole situation worse, out of these 5 matches so far in the Brazilian league, Neymar has only played about 80 minutes because of injuries. So he hasn't even really been able to help Santos and the Brazilian league. But on top of all that, Neymar doesn't really make any tactical sense for Santos, because this Santos team is not good enough to compete with the rest of the league. So what that means is they need 11 players who will defend, 11 players who will press. Neymar doesn't do that. When Santos doesn't have the ball, Neymar literally just walks around. All he does is attack. Now, don't get me wrong. His attacking ability is still top tier. He's probably still one of the best dribblers in the world right now. But Santos are simply just not good enough to have a player like Neymar walking around when they don't have the ball. So I'm starting to think that he's actually doing some harm to Santos, unfortunately. Now, I still do believe if you have a top team and you make this top team run and defend for Neymar, and all he has to do is attack, it's definitely worth it. Kind of like what Messi and Argentina did in the last World Cup. He didn't really have to help defend. All he did was attack, and it worked out for them. Now, the problem is Santos is not good enough to do that for Neymar. But you can see why Santos was tempted to bring Neymar back. Of course, he's a legend of the club. They knew the viewerships would go up. They knew that their jersey sales would go up. They knew they would gain a lot of followers on social media. So, of course, they were tempted and they brought him back. Now, unfortunately, this hasn't really made any sense on the pitch. Neymar should be back within the next month, and hopefully Neymar will stop getting injured and he will be able to make an impact for Santos and make this signing, all this money that Santos has spent, worth it for them. And also, I really hope to see Neymar in the Brazilian national team in this next World Cup. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, he can go back into a top team in Europe.